All right, guys. So I think there's something I wanted to clear from our previous lessons about how I was explaining this flexbox thing. So today I just want us to look at how we can position our divs or containers in a page. Okay. So I think as usual, we'll start it by declaring our doc type. Then we'll go back to our normal HTML. Okay. Open and close as usual. Okay. And inside there we have our head.
Bobo can't see the screen.
You can't see the screen.
Yes.
You can't see the screen.
You can only see the
You have
browser.
to refresh.
Oh, really? Okay, let me stop
Mm.
this. And let me reshare. Hey, okay, let me see. Is it okay?
Yeah,
yeah,
it's fine,
it's up.
fine.
Okay, nice one. So what I was just saying, I was saying that we need to declare our doc type as usual, bring our HTML open and close tag. Okay. The inside, that's where we have our head. Okay. And that one too is open and close as usual. Then the same place we have what? The body. That is the body. You can stop me and ask the question. Who is coming? HP. All right.
Mm.
Okay. So this is our basic HTML layout, the boilerplate. We have the header and the body inside. Okay. So I was kind of we should learn how to position divs and layout divs.
Recording in progress.
So that will be very easy for us. I think someone. Yeah. Can you mute yourself if you can hear me? Who is it? HP. Who is HP? Hello? Michael. Is that Michael or Isaka? I think it's Isaka. Anyway, let's continue. All right. So first thing first, let's target the body. Whatever happens in the body is what is displayed on the screen for us. We all know. We can forget about the header. We don't need to forget about header. Okay, we have to copy the CDN of the styling because our focus is the styling, right? And we all know how to do the styling. We're using what? TailwindCss. So let's copy TailwindCss. And then you paste it on top of our file, which is inside the header. Let me close this side so that it will be easy for you. I think this is clear. So once you copy your CDN and paste it on top of your file, which is inside the header, whatever styling, whatever CSS, TailwindCss classes that will be applied to any element will take effect. So a typical example will be, let's give a background. Okay, let's have a class with a BG-red. Then the shade started from 50 to what? 900. So let's give it like 500. Let's see what we will get. So when we go back to this side, we should be able to get a red with a shade of 500. You see? So that's it. It's very simple and very easy. Once you have your CDN copied on top of the head, okay. Any classes, this is a Tailwind utility class, which says, so give me a background color of red, but the red, I want it to be deeper, 500 deep. If you put 50, let's see how it will be. Okay, 50 will give us very light. You see, there's red, but very light. So let's make it, let's say 100. Let's see 100. You see how it's coming there? So let's make it 400. Let's see. See how it is. So that's the shade from 50 to 900. So 900 will give us a very high red. To give us red, you see how it is. All right. So these are some of the basic things. Okay. So now that we have a background, I want to reduce this to 300. Now that we have applied a color to the background with this utility class, let's find out how we can position a div. All right.
There's no question.
Okay, ask a question.
when you say shade,
Yeah.
what does it mean?
When I say shade, it means the color, the depth. So you said give me a background of red, and the shade start from 50. Okay, how deep the color is started from 50 to 900, right? So within this range, you can pick any color. So if you pick 50, see how to give you just light red. Okay, when you increase it to, let's say, 100, okay, see how it gives you some red, but it's not so deep. So you can go by, let's say, 200 and see. You see, so you are increasing the color. Instead of give me red, but the red has a shade of 50 to 900. I hope you understand. So 500 will give us what? Another color. You understand? So the range started from 50 to 900. That's the shade, the color shade that you receive. Does that make sense? No, are you okay with it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
So let's say if you give green, let's say green. Okay, let's have a green color. Sorry, green. 500. You see how deep that green is. But when you reduce the shade to, let's say, 100, you see, to give you lighter, you see, there's green, but it's very light. The same thing if you give 200, it will be very light. So this is how we apply colors to our Tailwind CSS. This is how, in Tailwind CSS, this is how we apply colors. The color has a shade. So if you said red, you can't just give you red, but you have to tell you have to tell you have to give a range of 50 to 900 shade. You understand? I hope that makes sense. 500 will give you more, right? Okay. Okay, I hope it's clear. Ken, I hope it's clear. Ken.
Yeah. I think my microphone was off.
You said?
I said it's clear, but just that the name.
Okay, the shade.
Like the shade.
Shade. You said shade. I don't know how I should explain shade to you, but how deep the color is. You said?
Okay.
Someone said something.
It's at the name.
You said?
I said it's clear. It's just the name.
Okay, the name. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Shade. So how deep the color will be. So the shade is just how deep the color will be. If it's a lighter, you will give it a lighter range. If you want deep red, then give a higher red, which is up to 900. You understand? Okay. Okay, so inside the body, let's try and have another div here. We all know that div is just a container, right? It's one of the HTML element, which is a div. So if I said divs, give me a div. Okay. So this is another container that we've just given out another container here. But let's give it a color and see what will happen. Okay, the same thing. Let's give it a class with a color of, let's say, green. We're giving what background color. So we put BG-green. Someone is saying something, but the microphone is very bad. I don't know if you can. 500. Nothing happened, right? We've given a div, but nothing happened because we don't have what a height. We don't have what a width. So we don't know what it is. So why don't we try and put something there? Let's put some text over there. Let's say box 1. Let's see what will happen. Boom. See, once we put box 1, it just automatically give you a flex straight and give you that color. Okay. I hope that makes sense. So let's try and duplicate this one. Let's make a copy and paste it down there. Okay, and call it box what? Box 2. You see how box 2 also just appeared on the screen. All right. So there comes what I was trying to explain, the flexing. How do we flex this box? We want this box 1 to be on top, and we want this box 2 to also to be at the bottom of the page. So what do we do? That is what I was trying to explain the other time, that we need to revisit this and explain how to position our divs in such a way that we can, if you're building a website, you can at least know where to position your divs by using the flexbox thing. All right. I hope we are making sense now. So we have one div on
William.
top. Yep.
Hello.
Yep.
Do you know how I actually did mine?
No, tell me.
You posted.
No.
I didn't even. I remember the last time when you were teaching us.
Yeah.
You make the first div relative, and then the second was like absolute.
Absolute, exactly.
So that the first one will be. What I did was, you know what I actually did? I didn't do that.
Okay.
What I actually did was I opened a div,
Yeah.
and then just for the header.
Yeah.
For the header, and then for the footer, I opened another div. So what I did was the height of the header was different. The body itself, the footer also had a different height. And then I now placed another div. So it became 3 div.
I understand.
For the whole body.
Yeah, I know what you were trying to do so that you can. Yes, it's also a good way, but no, you've introduced two divs.
Yes.
Yes, I noticed
for the footer and the header.
Yeah.
So it became 3 div.
Yeah.
The header, the div for the header, the div for the footer, and the div for the whole, the main, where the image, and then the menu, and then the news. So it was 3 different div.
Okay.
That I constructed that day. Yes.
Okay. So let's try and understand how this flex thing works. Okay. So let's imagine we put a flex on the parent. Okay. Let's put a flex on the parent. Right? See what happened. Did you see it? Okay, let me change this one.
Align.
Yeah, let me change this one to a different color so that it will be very visible. Let's put this one, which color? Yellow will be. Okay. So see what happened. See how, so flex, when you say something should be flex, this container and another container inside a flex box, we just position them in a line. Okay. Once you say flex, to put them in one line. Okay. So for them to be in a column, that is when you have to specify that, okay, I want you to give me a flex column. So when you say flex hyphen call, that means to be in column, it will shift to the bottom. So by default, it's flex column. But it should be advisable for you to tell that, okay, I want it to be a flex column. Now that we have a flex, then we can apply our classes and it will even respond. I hope this one makes sense. When you say flex, it will put it in what? In x-axis, side by side. So if you want it to be below on the y-axis, that's why I have to say flex column. That means to be in column. So every item on this will be in what column. So let's say if you want to duplicate this one again, okay. If you want to duplicate this one again, you have what? How many? You see, and this one will be what? 3.
Right.
And all of them will be what? In column. I hope that makes sense.
Yep.
Let me give this one black. Black doesn't have a shape, but the text is supposed to be no. So let's give blue. I hope that makes sense, right? Hello? It makes sense, right? Why is the blue not working?
Yeah.
Okay, so once we take flex column out, of course, all of them will be in a row. You understand? But once we tell, okay, give me a column, then it will give you. Okay. Let's call to give you a column. All right. Okay. So how do we position our div at the bottom and position the other one too at the top. If you have any idea, let me just let me know before we continue. I don't know if you have any plan. How do we position the box 1 on top and box 2 down?
I think give the box 2 a height.
Give box 2
let's say give the box 1 a height first.
Okay, so let's give all of them
box 1 a height first.
Let's give them all height. Let's give them all height, right? So let's give them H of, let's say, 12, right? Is 12 okay? Or we should give them,
let's say, okay for that.
Let's give them 24, okay? 24 will be good. 24
okay.
height. And let's give this one to 24 height. Okay, H of 24. All right, so that.
It's not taking effect.
Why is it not taking effect? Okay, because see where I put 24? It's on the parent instead of.
Oh, okay.
The parent instead of having it there. Oh.
You'll be on the dive.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's supposed to be here, right? H of 24. Dixon, I've seen you. Understand? So let's see. So we have 24, 24 height, right? So how do we place?
And then let's say you be. So you give.
Okay. So how do we place this one at the bottom?
So what? Okay, let's say. Which one? The last one.
Last one. How do we place it at the bottom? That is what we're supposed to do now. That should be our target. How do you place it at the bottom?
You last time you said something of like the box 1 should be relative to box 2.
Yeah. So absolute. There's something we call absolute, right?
Relative and absolute.
Exactly. Exactly. Relative and absolute. So why don't you, let's put this bottom of 0. Let's see what will happen. Bottom 0. Bottom of 0, right? Bottom of 0. Let's see what happened. Did not go. That means we need to put what? Absolute. Absolute position. And it will bring it down. So now we have it at the down, but we've lost our weight. So we can say what? Weight of full, right? And that's it. Exactly. So you see, it's very simple. We make it absolute, then we drop it down, then we give it the weight of full.
So this is simpler
Exactly.
than how I did mine.
Exactly.
Because mine,
okay.
Mine was 3 div in all, but you used 2 here. So the 3 div I constructed, like I opened that time. The first div had a height, the second div had a height, and the third also had a height. But the second div had a height more than the other 2.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you are trying. Okay, but it depends on you. But I think you're supposed to go with the simplest approach. You understand? So that you can have a less instead of having all these kind of thing. But all the same, once it works for you, it's okay. You just have to reduce your code so that it will look good. That's all. Right. Dixon, welcome.
Thank you, bro. I've been really busy these days.
Yes, I noticed that. So we are just trying to refresh our mind on how Flexbox work, because I noticed that some of them were not getting the name classes, all these classes names, flex column and all that. So I'm trying to go very, very low and just wait. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So now that we're able to place our div on top and one down, let's see when we have another div in between. Let's see what will happen. So I can just copy this one again, right? Just put it there and say inner, right? Let's give it inner, something like that. Inner box. Okay. What happened? Let's give it a color. Let's give it, let's say, blue. And let's see what happens. So we want this blue to be at the middle of the whole thing. So what do? We want this blue to be at the middle. So what can we do? Fidelis, if you have anything to say. Ken. So what do? We want this div to be at the middle. We're able to put this one down, and we're able to put the box 1, 2 on top, being the header. So now this guy is still hitting our header, which is not supposed to be so. So we want it to be at the middle. So what do? How do we bring this guy at the middle? Fidelis, do you have any idea?
For me, what I will do is maybe I'll increase the size, the height.
Okay, you increase this height to.
Yes.
So that it will just take over. But we don't want it to touch the header. We want it to be at the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let me help you. Fidelis. Okay, so don't forget that when we said when we put flex on the parent, okay, and we said align item center, remember? Justify content center and align item center. You remember? Justify center, item center.
Yeah.
So if you say justify center here at the parent level, okay, let's see what will happen. So justify center, items, and items with center. What happened? Still loading. So you see how everything is scattered. Why? So tell me. So in this header, there's no weight, there's no flex, nothing. So we come back to this again and give it what? Check down here, we have what? Weight of full. So we need to go back to this guy and say, oh, give us a weight of full.
Like,
no, weight of full. You're supposed to have a weight of full on this guy. W full on this guy. So that we can get it back. And at the same time, this guy is supposed to have a weight of full. And let's see what happens. Now everything is back, but we still don't have our item at the middle. So let's get a solution. Okay, let me use something we call H of full. There's no height for the parent. So we come H screen. Let's have H screen on this one. And let's see how. We have H screen and still we don't have it. We have item center, justify center. So what do we do? Well,
so
I think
I'm following what you are doing as compared to how I structured mine. So I just want to follow how you are going about it.
Oh, okay. So
because
the goal here is
approach I used was different.
Oh, okay.
The approach I used was different.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to add your own to the approach I used.
So William, I think
once
we have this 3 days.
Okay, let me
inside the parent's body.
Yeah.
I think the justify should be in that particular div that has to be centered because they are all taking flex from the parents. Or
okay. So the justify is supposed to be at the inner box, right?
Yes, because they are all taking flex from the parents and based on how they are aligned.
Okay, just find center. Let's see what happened. Okay, we did not get it. Should we make it item center?
Is it flex? Is it flex?
Sorry, you're supposed to flex it exactly. Okay, you have a flex on it now. So the flex on it is putting the text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
so we will come back to it. Honestly,
it has a height, right?
Yes, it has a height. It has a height. But you know, when you put, I think everything's supposed to be targeted on the parent. You understand?
Oh, okay.
Everything's supposed to be on the parent because we said we have flex. We said flex column. Why don't you take the column out? Let's see how.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Okay, you see where it went. Okay, that means you have the core. Flex core and core. All right. Yeah, so now we need to bring it at the center. That's what we're supposed to do now.
Okay.
Yeah. What do we do? Each screen, we have it. There's a problem here.
Yes, the problem at the parent. If the parent is taking...
So once you said H screen, that means it's on flex. And once you have H screen and we have justify center and item center, everything will come to the center. But we don't want the header part of the middle. So what do you do? Yeah. So we need to work on the header.
Yeah.
So the header has something we call top 0. You remember? But before we try top 0, we're supposed to do what? Absolute. So let's try top 0. Let's see if it will work. It's not working. Let's see. You see, it did not work. But once we put absolute, okay, once we put absolute, let's see what happens. We have everything. So I want you to take one. This is a takeaway. The absolute is what is putting our footer down and it's putting our header at the top. Then this one will take care of item center, justify center. So item center and justify center, this absolute will cancel it because we said give us a bottom of 0 and this one to give us a top of 0. So it will start from top. This is what I want to take away. Absolute top 0 and absolute bottom 0. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Hello? Hello? Hey, are we off?
Yeah.
I was saying it makes sense.
Yeah, if I get it clear,
yeah,
we are using one flex and one column. What is the first flex and the second flex doing separately?
Which one? At the top, right?
In the parent, we have flex.
We have flex.
Yes, we have flex and
flex column. Okay, let's take the flex column out and you see what will happen, right? Should we take it off? Then we see what will happen. All of them will be on, all of them will be on what? Okay, so because of H screen, sorry. So because of H screen takes care of that. Yeah. Because of H screen, yeah. Once we have H screen over here, it takes care of the flex column. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. Once we have H screen, it takes care of it. So let's say let's take let's just make a mistake here, and you see that everything will be on x-axis. It's even gone, right? But because we already have absolute and absolute down. So this one will be at the top, this one will be at the top. This one, the middle one, the inner one will go away because we don't have a flex column. It's supposed to be a flex column so that to be part of the column line. So we put a flex, then we call it flex column, and to be at the middle. Where did I put it? Okay, I made a mistake. Okay. Yeah, the screen. Yeah, exactly. The screen. Yeah. So the most important thing is, I think, is
Okay, so
yeah, the most important thing is the
yeah,
absolute.
so which
Yeah.
yeah, so which means we can just ignore the once the H screen takes care of the flex
Exactly.
column, we can just ignore the flex column.
Yes.
Okay,
If
so
you
that's
take the
good.
flex column out, that means it will affect the middle one. Okay, we can, yes, we can take off, we can take out, yes, because of H screen. Because of H screen. So flex call will
Yeah.
not, yeah, will not be important here.
Still,
Yeah. So
okay,
why don't we take, okay, let's take the H screen and
Cool.
put flex column. Let's see. Let's put flex call. Let's see.
Your question, no?
Yeah. Let's put flex call without H screen. Let's see what happens.
Yes, what is
Still, we don't have it.
it?
Hello? Can you were saying something?
Yeah.
You said something.
Yeah, I was asking what is H screen?
Height.
The H is for what?
H for height. So give us a
Okay.
height of screen. Yeah. Give us full screen. Take care of the whole screen. Height of screen.
Okay, so just as that when we have to write the normal CSS, we
That's
have
right.
like the view height and the width height.
Exactly. I was trying to highlight once you put your cursor on it, it's supposed to give you, but I don't know why it's not giving me, like it will give you the CSS. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, okay.
Normally, when you put the cursor on top of like this, it will give you the CSS. I don't know why it's not coming. I don't know. I've tried. Like when you put the cursor on top of any of the class, it will give you the CSS. I don't know. So you can try it over there and you see what is happening. I was trying to do this, but it's not coming. I don't know why.
And another question, instead of writing like background, instead of writing BG, can you enter straight like background?
No, this is their own classes. They're using BG as a background. You're using that one.
So if I enter fully like background,
it will not work.
please spell it.
Okay, let's try. You can try. Let's try. So let's see background of green, and nothing happens, right? It don't know. It doesn't know it. So you're supposed.
The GR.
Okay. Is it background?
Yeah.
It will not take effect. It knows of BG, which is B for BG for. It knows about this in the ground. So BG, give me a BG green. So it's their own utility classes. So you cannot just come out with your own. If you do that, there'll be conflict. They shouldn't allow that.
Okay. So what of the first column?
Yeah, when you say
because as you're entering the first column, okay. I saw the full spelling, and then you just selected COL, and that was it.
Yeah,
doesn't mean if you put the whole thing first column, it won't work.
It will not work because it's their own utility classes. So you need to go by their utility classes. I don't know if it makes sense.
As you are entering, it came like full spelling column.
Yes, yeah, that one is coming from some of the my extension that I'm using.
Yeah, the IntelliSense.
Yeah, my IntelliSense is just picking it that okay, this guy wants to spell column, but that's not the column that I want. I want a utility class column for Tailwind. I don't know if you understand. Okay. Yeah. So the takeaway is just where to position them is the most important thing. So let's try and do something in here at the middle. Let's try and change the height to, I think we can double it, right? Let me give you another thing too. You can as well put if you're used to this kind of thing, you can still put them 23 pixels. Just give your square bracket and just put pixels and it will give you, if you're used to pixels, okay, you can just put them there and it will work for you. I don't know if you understand. So it will work for me if I put anything. Let's put 100 pixels. You understand? Okay. So let's put like 300, sorry, 350. You see. So once you bring your square bracket, you can as well put your normal CSS syntax. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And you can even use percentage here. You can give it, let's say, give me 50% of height, give me 20% of height. So we can as well do the same thing. Give me 20%. and it should be able to work. Where is it? Yeah. You understand? You can give me 30%, it will work. You see? So you can as well do the same thing. So there's another thing I want us to do. I want us to place lamp 4 div inside. Let's see. Inner div. Let's see what happens. Okay. Let me double this 4 times. Okay. Yeah, 4 times. Let's call this one inner 1. Now 2. Now 3. Right. So now we have 4 div inside. So let's see how we can position them. It will go up, then you just reconnect so that we finish with this one and that's all. Why don't you put class? Let's put a class, right? Let me put class on top of them. So space. So our target is to position this very well. These are divs, but I think we have to give it a height. Let's give them all of them a height and maybe a color so that we can see. So it's simple. It's very simple. The same background color. Okay. The same BG. Let's give it, let's say red. And the shade starts from 50 to 900. So let's give 600. Let's see. Very big, very deep red. So you see how we have. All right. So let's give this one to another color, which is BG, the same. Oh, okay. Okay, let's give this one yellow of let's say 600 or 500. Okay. This one BG. BG, what color again? Should we give black? If we give black, we will not see the text. That means we need to change the text color, right? So what color do you think we can give? Blue? We have blue already. So should we give white? Okay, pink. Pink 2 has a shade of let's say 400. Let's do 400. Last color, give me a color. Give me a color. Then I'll put anything if you don't want to give me a color. Okay, so we have our 4 div inside another div. So I think the workout, I mean, what do we want? We want this div to be in one column. I mean, to be in, sorry, it's supposed to be in x-axis, right? So of course we have to do our flex here. Once you say flex, you put them in what? In a row. All of them will be in a row. See how it is. Once we take the flex out, by default, it will be what in column. So by default, it's column. So once you put your flex, it goes to a row, right? Okay. So what do? We want to do some responsive thing here. That is what I want us to do. And in Tailwind, we call something mobile first. But before that, we have to put this item in the center. What do we do? For those you can remember. How do you put items in the center? We can't just put items center. Let's see what happens. It will not go. It will, okay, it will be in the middle. But we need to justify it. So when we say justify, I think give us a space at the left and the right. So we can say justify center. Take that out. And let's see what happens. Yeah, okay. Let's take the justify and just put something we call, is it X auto, right? Let's see, auto. Let's see what happens. Did not work. Magic of auto did not work. That means we need to go back to our justify. All right. I was trying to see if that one will work. Okay. So now we have our item at the center. Let's give it the height. And then so that will look good. I want us to do equal height. Multi-cursor selector, something like that. So let's give it a height of, let's say, 12. All of them should have a height of 12. Or 12 is too small. Let's give it, let's say 24. Okay. All right. Okay, there's another utility class that I want to show you. All this item, we can apply something we call space of x. We call something space. Let's see if it will work. Space of x of, let's say, 8. Let me give it 4. You see, when you say space of x-axis 4, you see how we have a space. You understand? This is very quick way of styling. Instead of giving this margin and paddings, we can as well give margin on each of them. But once we put x of 4, I mean space, give me a space of x of 4, it takes care of that. Instead of coming back here to tell, okay, I want you to give me a margin. So we can as well give a margin here. Margin of what? 2 on this. Okay. And we give another margin of 2. Okay. You see how you're spacing. So it's like you're using more classes instead of using just space of x on the parent. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm trying to do. Instead of giving just a simple class on the parent, give us a space among all these child elements. Instead of giving margin of 2, margin of 2, margin, it's repeat. I don't know, it's just repeating itself, which is not good for me, my opinion. I mean, it's not good for me. I'll just give me a space of x of, let's say, 4, and at least you take care of all of them. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
It does, okay. All right. So let's try and do some responsive thing here. Okay. So let's say on our mobile phone, we want this one to be a flex of what? Column. But once we go back to a bigger screen, we want it to take care of, want it to be in the x-axis. So that's where we have to apply. Give me a flex of column on the parent. So what? Flex column. Okay. So by default, it's flex column, right? That means on the mobile phone, it's flex column. But once we pass a mobile phone screen and go to, let's say, a medium. So we call something medium screen. I want you to give me what? Flex. Let's see what happens. So by default, it's what? Flex column. Nothing happens. What are we doing wrong? Tell me. What are we doing wrong? You can't remember anything. You lost. We are flexing column.
In action.
Should we add the grow to it? Grow. Let's see what happens. I don't think it will work. Flex grow is taking care of the top. Okay. So we need to take this guy out and see. Oh. What are we seeing? We have a flex column, but on a medium screen, on a large screen, we want it to be what? We want it to be a flex of. Okay. So the problem is we don't have flex on each of them. Each of them is supposed to have a flex. That is where the mistake is. Are we good? All of them supposed to have a flex. So we have a flex here.
Yeah.
We have a flex here. So there are 2 flex. And we have a flex here.
I think is the parent flex not covering all of them?
Because the child is not having the flex. There's no flex on the child. So when we tell, okay, once I go beyond the mobile phone screen, I want you to flex. There's no flex on the parent, oh, sorry, on the child. So it will not take effect. I don't know if you understand. So let's see if it will work. I don't know. So after small screen, so we have after small screen, and we have what after medium screen, and we have what after what large screen. Okay, so these are some of them. Put this three in your head. After small screen, I want you to flex. Okay, or after large screen, I want you to flex. Or after medium, I want you to flex. So let's take everything and say after small, we want you to flex. Let's see what happens. If it will small. Let's see. It's very slow. Something. Let's see. Nothing happened. Oh, and there's a flex on them too. What is the mistake?
Before you make it MD, so make it MD and see.
Okay, medium.
Before you made it MD.
Okay. I'm sure that's the reason why. I'm not sure.
And what's that MD?
Medium.
Medium screen.
So after medium, why don't you take this guy? Because by default is flex column. You understand? By default is flex column, so we can take that one out. Okay. Let's see. Oh. I think you're mixing up something. I think you're mixing up something. Let's go. So once you have a flex column, you said after medium, after MD, you have a flex block, right? Okay. I think we can do block. Let's see. Block. Let's see. Instead of flexing, can block, right? So let's see if it will work. Block is giving us a different thing. So what do we do? It should be able to work. What are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong?
I'm following. They are mixing in action.
Yeah, because that's what's supposed to be. Once we pass, that is what we said. Once we pass mobile screen, we're supposed to have them in one line instead of column. Okay. So we said give us a column on mobile screen. After that, give us this, but it's not taking effect. I thought it's because we did not put flex on them. Now that we have the flex on them, they're still lacking something. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's check. I think I have something here.
Maybe try it on a parent and see.
You should have it on the parent, as in, this is the parent. Dixon, are you here with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, this is the parent, and this is where we are applying this. Okay, give us a flex column, but after After medium spring, give us I don't know. Okay, there's another way we can go. I didn't want to go this, but let's try this and see. There's something we call grade. I don't know if that one will help, but I don't want us to go there because something grade and give us a grade calls 1. So by default, we have 1 grade like this. And the same thing, we can use the same method that, okay, after small, okay, give us the same grade of course 2. Then you can go MD, give us a grade, the same thing, you see, grade of course 4. The first one is 2, so this is what is going to happen. I don't know if it will work. Before I explain, you see, see this one works. See, so give us 2, and when we go, give us 1. So on the mobile phone, we have 1 grade, but when we go small after small screen, give us 2 grade. The next one give us 4 grade. That is what is happening. It's supposed to work with the flex, but I don't know why. So anyway, so we said you make the parent a grade and say give me a default grade of what 1. Okay, and you said okay, after you pass mobile phone screen, give me a grade of 2. When you go, let's say tablet, which is what a medium screen, give me a grade of 4. So I was trying to do this with the flex, which is supposed to work. I don't know why. So you see how it works. On the mobile phone, give you one column. When you go beyond, give you 2 columns. When you go, it gives you your 4 columns. I don't know if it makes sense. So this is another way of placing your containers. I was trying to do it with the flex, but I don't know why the flex is not working. I don't know if it's because of the CDN. I don't know, but it should be able to work. I will later find out why the flex was not working, but the grade is working. I don't know.
I think the flex, can't we use wrap or
What? We should
wrap?
Okay, we should try flex wrap. Right? So I should take off all these ones, right? I should take all of this one now. Okay, then we put what else? Let's take off everything, including this one. So we're taking it from here.
Okay.
So we do flex, right? And we wrap it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you? I think let's go. Let's see. Okay, we have it in the column now. So why don't you do let's try it again. Let's see. Give us a flex. After small screen, give us a flex. It's taking effect. But this is mobile screen. It's supposed to be a column. Don't know why it's giving us after small flex. Okay, let's try that medium thing that he was saying. MD. It's the same thing. Did not work. Yeah. Okay, let's do the flex wrap.
So the wrap is not working.
Let's do the wrap. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. No action.
It's not working.
Okay, let's try this one. Let's call by default, and we said MD. MD, give us a flex wrap. So let's see. Oh, it works. It works. Understand? It works. Flex wrap. Oh. So I don't know if you understand what is happening. Flex column by default. When you pass a medium screen, I want you to do a flex wrap so that it will take care of it will be what? Wow, it works. It works. Wow. Let's do this one too. So inline. Let's see. Oh. Is it flex inline or flex block? Let's see. See, it did not work. I know of. Yeah. So the flex wrap is working. Made it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we wanted to achieve. Having everything on the mobile phone stuck to each other, which is a column. And once you pass the medium screen, we have a flex. So you can, this is how you can position your divs. I think we can end the session here, right? That's what I wanted you to know, how to position your layout and dips, and I mean, it's very basic utility classes. No any other fancy thing. That's all. So out of this, at least you'll be going to Tailwind site to do most of them. I mean, to check out some of their utility classes and apply them, and it will work. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Hello?
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think you can take a snapshot and just play with these ones. All right. So Dixon.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I want us to, I wanted to just fill this gap. You know, last time,
Oh, okay.
the last session that we had, I think the newbies were complaining about the flex column. Understanding was not clear because I was teaching as if they understand. So I was like, okay, why don't you do a recap of them so that we can put the video.
The flex
when they see it.
Is very important.
Yes, I wanted to treat the grade separately, but since the flexing line was not working, I don't know, is it flexing line or flex block? I know of flex block, but I don't know. So I decided to change it. Because I know block's supposed to work. Anyway, so at least we're able to get what we want. So let's end the session then. We will leave them for them to catch up, because one of them, I think most of them were saying that they need to rewatch the video and do some things. So we can leave them till they come back to us. This is the only section that I wanted to cover so that at least they will understand, okay, they're applying flex, so they know what they're doing. If they want to apply BG and all this spacing and all that, full W of full and item center, justify center and all that, so that they know what they are doing. That's all. Okay, any question? Fidelis, any question? Or anything that you want us to do? Fidelis, I don't know, he will not ask us to continue. He will ask us to close.
For now, no question.
I think it's cool. Hey, where's the wrap? Okay. So next thing we can end the session, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Japon, Fide. Japon. All right. Listen, let me call you on Zoom again.
Okay, sure.
All right.